Caitlin Clark had always been a force on the court. With her lightning-quick moves and pinpoint shooting, she rose through the ranks, capturing the attention of basketball fans around the globe. She made the impossible look easy, and her ability to sink three-pointers from the parking lot left fans shaking their heads in disbelief. The WNBA was her stage, and she commanded it with a presence that seemed to grow with every game. Yet, no one could have predicted the twist her career was about to take, one that not only shook the sports world, but had everyone talking about an unprecedented financial misstep. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. As news broke that Caitlin Clark had found herself in a $40 million hole due to a European contract mishap, jaws dropped. The headline alone was enough to send shockwaves through the WNBA and beyond. Caitlin, the sharpshooter with ice in her veins, had suddenly become the subject of one of the most expensive contractual blunders in recent memory. What exactly had gone wrong, and how did someone as sharp as Clark, both on and off the court, get caught up in such a mess? To understand how this all unraveled, we first need to take a closer look at Clark's journey. Raised in Iowa, she had been a basketball prodigy from a young age. There was a natural intensity in her play, a kind of stubborn determination that set her apart from her peers. By the time she was dominating college basketball, it was clear that she was destined for greatness. When she finally entered the WNBA, it wasn't a matter of if she would make an impact, but how quickly and dramatically she'd do it. Clark's game translated seamlessly into the pros. She wasn't just another player on the court. She was a difference maker. Whether she was slicing through defenders or dropping deep threes, she played with a kind of swagger that made it impossible to look away. Her rise in the WNBA was meteoric. But like many athletes at the peak of their careers, the allure of opportunities beyond American soil soon came calling. Europe, with its deep basketball traditions and lucrative offers, had always been a tempting destination for players looking to expand their horizons and their wallets. Contracts in European leagues often offered significant financial incentives, something that appealed to athletes from all sports. For Clark, the prospect of earning a hefty payday while testing her skills in a new environment seemed like a perfect opportunity. So when the chance to play overseas presented itself, she didn't hesitate. The specifics of the contract that lured Caitlin Clark to Europe were mouth-watering. The numbers were huge, even by WNBA standards, and it promised to make her one of the highest-paid female basketball players globally. But as with many things that seemed too good to be true, there were some hidden pitfalls. The deal, negotiated by her agents and European team representatives, was laced with clauses that were not as straightforward as they appeared. At first glance, the $40 million figure seemed rock solid, a sure thing. But buried deep within the contract were stipulations that, if not met, would cause the entire agreement to collapse like a house of cards. Clark's usual steely-eyed focus might have been momentarily blurred by the dazzling figures being dangled in front of her. And who could blame her? Most players would leap at the chance to make that kind of money. Yet in the world of professional sports, the details matter. In this case, it was the fine print that would eventually come back to haunt her. The contract hinged on conditions that were beyond Clark's control, and when those conditions weren't met, the entire deal unraveled. It wasn't long before whispers started circulating about something being off with Clark's European deal. Rumors of unpaid salaries and contractual disputes began to swirl. What started as quiet murmurs soon became deafening noise, and the news eventually broke that Clark's $40 million payday had evaporated into thin air. The fallout was brutal. What makes this particular situation so shocking is that Clark, known for her on-court awareness, seemed blindsided by the off-court complexities. The loss wasn't just financial, though that part was certainly a gut punch. It was a hit to her reputation as someone who usually made sharp decisions, both with the basketball and with her career choices. She'd gone from a basketball phenom to a cautionary tale in the span of a few months. The implications of this contractual disaster go far beyond Caitlin Clark herself. It sent ripples through the WNBA and the broader sports world, raising questions about the role of agents, the risks of international deals, and the often murky waters athletes must navigate when crossing borders for financial gain. For the WNBA, a league still working to grow its brand and secure higher wages for its players, Clark's situation was a stark reminder of the potential dangers when their top talent looks abroad for greener pastures. Fans, too, were left bewildered. How could someone so dominant on the court be caught off guard by such a massive off-court mistake? It wasn't just about the money. It was about the trust placed in those who were supposed to be handling her career. Clark had always been the picture of poise, a player who thrived in pressure situations. But here, away from the bright lights of the basketball arena, she had been left exposed. Clark's reaction to the fiasco was as expected from someone of her competitive nature. Though undoubtedly frustrated and disappointed, she maintained the same grit that had defined her playing career. Instead of wallowing in the mess, she doubled down on her work ethic, focusing even more intensely on her game. If anything, the debacle served as motivation for her to prove that, contract or no contract, no one could take away what she brought to the basketball court. In the grand scheme of things, Caitlin Clark's $40 million loss is a reminder of the tightrope walk that professional athletes often find themselves on. The line between success and failure is razor thin, and even the sharpest minds can falter when faced with the complex web of contracts, endorsements, and international opportunities. It's a cautionary tale for the next generation of athletes, particularly those in women's sports, who may be tempted by the lure of European contracts without fully grasping the risks involved. The story doesn't end with Clark's loss, though. It continues as a talking point in boardrooms and locker rooms alike, serving as a learning moment for athletes, agents, and sports executives. While Caitlin's misstep is undoubtedly painful, it also highlights the need for more transparent and player-friendly contracts, particularly for athletes venturing outside their home countries. For the WNBA, it's a chance to reevaluate how they support their players when international opportunities arise. Even in the face of such adversity, Clark's personality remained unscathed. She's never been one to take herself too seriously, and her offbeat sense of humor helped her weather the storm. After the initial shock wore off, she joked that maybe she should have stuck to playing video games in her downtime rather than signing contracts she didn't fully understand. That humor, combined with her drive, kept her grounded, reminding everyone why she was so beloved in the first place. Of course, the $40 million loss will likely haunt her for a while, but if there's one thing people know about Caitlin Clark, it's that she doesn't stay down for long. Whether she's draining a three-pointer in the final seconds of a game or dusting herself off after a bad deal, she's always looking ahead to the next play. That resilience, more than anything, is what defines her. The money may be gone, but the lessons learned, and the fire it's lit inside her, are priceless. For now, fans will have to wait and see how this chapter in Clark's career plays out. Will she return to Europe, this time with a sharper eye for contracts? Will the WNBA step in to offer better financial opportunities to keep their stars from looking overseas? One thing is certain, Caitlin Clark's journey is far from over, and if history has taught us anything, it's that she'll come back stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. In the meantime, Clark's story has become a staple in conversations about sports contracts, financial literacy for athletes, and the unique challenges female athletes face in securing fair compensation. As women's sports continue to rise in popularity and financial power, Caitlin's experience serves as both a warning and a call to action. No one wants to see another athlete, especially one as talented as Clark, fall victim to the same mistakes. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.